Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Advantech Live Webinar. Today's topic is Internet of Things, Intelligent Devices. I am Deborah Liu, and I will be your host. Today's speakers include embedded industry experts from Intel, Wind River, McAfee, and Advantech. Today's webinar will be around 40 minutes. We'll leave the last 10 minutes for audience Q&A. Before we begin, I'd like to remind our audience that if you want to raise any questions, please type them on the question box on the control panel located on the right-hand side of your screen. Your questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. If the speakers are not able to answer questions for lack of time, they will then address all questions via email in the next day or two. Now, I will pass the mic over to Ken Chen. Ken is the product manager from Advantech. He will tell us a little bit on what does IoT means nowadays to embedded businesses. Ken?
Okay, thanks, Deborah. Hello, everyone. I'm Ken, product manager from Advantech. I'm pleased to join our partners today from Intel, Wind River, and McAfee. Before we begin today's discussion, let's do a quick survey. Please move your mouse cursor on the screen to select. What's your time frame in considering an IoT solution? Please select one that applies. A, 0 to 3 months, B, 4 to 7 months, C, 7 to 12 months, and D is longer than 12 months. There have been a lot of talk in the industry on the potential impact business and industrial will be affected by the IoT shift. The tremendous growth of IoT opens up new service-driven opportunities, enabling connected solutions on any device of any size in any market, and increasing efficiency while reducing cost, and risk for embedded business. Advantech has been working closely with our partner to provide intelligent device and systems including IoT gateway and edge devices, as well as a wireless module. All this can help our customers to build their IoT solutions faster to reduce the development cost and risk. This is the reason why we're here today, to find out how to react to this trend. I'll turn this back to Deborah.
Thanks, Ken. Now, I would like to introduce Valerie Kress, Marketing Development Manager from Intel, to speak with us further about the future of IoT. Valerie?
Thanks, Deborah. While there are a number of different market forecasts out there, I think the one thing we can all agree on is that IoT represents a tremendous opportunity. Intel views that alignment of silicon, software, and services as the next big growth engine. Now, embedded solutions have been around for a long time, so what's different now? First off, everything is becoming connected now and in real time. We're not talking nightly batch file uploads or USB sticks, but internet-style connectivity. Second, once everything is connected, the value of any one piece of data changes. So a temperature in a factory oven may not be particularly interesting or worth monitoring on its own, but it becomes incredibly valuable when studying a 10-part recipe in a manufacturing flow. Finally, combining those discrete pieces of data together from multiple sources on the server allows for a new level of analytics and decision-making that simply wasn't possible before. The connectedness and compute everywhere model allows for those decisions to run in the cloud or at the gateway, where the data can be used in a timely and relative manner. Unfortunately, while the number of connected devices is growing very rapidly, 85 to 90% of devices that are currently deployed are still legacy devices that are isolated and unconnected. Customers don't want to wait to refresh their existing legacy equipment, and they want to preserve their investment. So when you think about the price of, for example, a rooftop chiller or a tractor, the challenge and the opportunity starts to become more clear. How do we help our customers connect those very expensive deployed legacy systems and ensure that the data can travel securely from the edge to the cloud without ripping out and replacing those expensive units? Intel Gateway solution for the Internet of Things allows us to bring the benefits of IoT to that legacy infrastructure with local device management and data sharing through a system of systems approach. Intel's collaboration with Advantech on developing the UTX-3115 now makes it easy for embedded customers to get the data off the device and into the cloud. That lets Advantech's embedded customers avoid replacing existing infrastructure and devices, securely aggregate, share, and filter data from the edge to the cloud, and focus on new value-added services.
Thank you, Valerie. Next, we have Tom Gibbons, Senior Product Manager from Wind River. Tom will share with us how intelligent device platforms accelerate IoT. Tom?
Hello, thanks, Deborah. Today I will be explaining the Internet of Things, Wind River's intelligent device platform known as IDP, and how IDP helps technology companies accelerate application development. This first slide is a depiction of a generic IoT network topology. Let's start from the bottom and move up. At the bottom is a collection of sensors and actuator devices that generate data and require management. Examples of these types of sensors include things like measuring temperature, humidity, light, and CO2. Those devices connect to an intelligent gateway, such as the Advantech UTX-3115 system that leverages Wind River IDP 2.0 technology stack to perform a lot of tasks. These tasks include things like device management, data aggregation, and data filtering. A critical component of the gateway is the cloud connector. This cloud connector allows the gateway to connect to the edge management system. And as you can see on this slide, the edge management system hosts functions like device management, analytics, event-driven actions, and the API. The edge management system is the component that enables users to manage devices in aggregate across all gateways. It is this combination of edge devices, the gateway, and cloud-based applications that makes up the Internet of Things, and the Advantech UTX-3115 plays a pivotal role in getting these devices connected. Now moving on to the next slide, let's take a closer look at the IDP technology stack. So IDP is the middleware stack for the Internet of Things and contains Wind River 5 Linux operating system. It includes the security, management, a wide variety of connectivity protocols, some developer tools, and programming environments. With these integrated technologies, application developers can skip all the plumbing work and focus on high-value application development. Complementing the IDP 2.0 technology stack is the Wind River Services Group that can help fill any gaps in expertise and accelerate development timelines. While your competitors are distracted with figuring out how to replicate portions of the IDP technology stack, you can focus on your core competency and leapfrog your competition, which is a good segue to my last slide here. In summary, IDP products that leverage the IDP 2.0 technology stack, like the Advantech UTX-3115, benefit application developers in many different ways. Most significantly, IDP was a collaboration between Intel, McAfee, and Wind River, who all specialize in the complementary sections of the IoT development stack, or the technology stack, to produce a platform that application developers can build on, and thereby reducing your development costs and reducing your risk. As IDP continues from additional investment, the IDP embedded customers benefit from this continued leadership. Deborah, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. In the world of IoT, data security will be a major concern. Teresa Chen, Senior Manager of Product Marketing from McAfee, will share with us her insight. Teresa?
Thanks, Deborah. Security is really critical in the Internet of Things simply because the number of connected devices in the world is exploding. I mean, it's expected that we'll see up to 200 billion connected devices in the next several years, and as more devices become connected every day, companies will face more security challenges. And what that really means is the more connected devices we have, the more apps we have, and the more vectors there will be for attacks. Another way to look at this is throughout history, some concept has always transformed the way we live our lives. In the 70s, it was all about introducing PCs. Introduction of the Internet gave way to the 80s. Mobile computing dominated the next decade. So what's next? it is the Internet of Things, and it's already happening now. Isolated systems are networked and communicating with each other in the cloud. They're getting smarter. They're evolving from fixed function, disconnected systems to a more flexible, interconnected systems. And all these devices are now starting to use open standard architecture technologies for both software and hardware development. And as they start to move into this direction of using open architecture, they open up risks to vulnerabilities associated with them. So as that starts to happen, it opens up a big risk profile to the users of the devices and the manufacturers of those devices as it relates to the risk of someone getting on that device, disturbing its operation, and stealing information on these devices. So in this next slide, we're seeing an increase in malware attacks. But we're seeing an increase of sophisticated attacks specifically targeting intelligent systems. Stuxnet is a perfect example. It was the first malware worm targeting embedded process control systems that through highly sophisticated development. It actually used 6 new zero-day vulnerabilities and worked on all Windows versions down to Windows 95, attacking SCADA systems, and as a result caused critical centrifuges to malfunction. Now, there's a lot of other examples, such as Global System for Mobile Communication hacks. These target other devices besides phones communicating through the GSM network, and these devices, cars for instance, are vulnerable to these attacks. Printers are another example in which exploits can allow hackers to reprogram printers with custom firmware, giving the attacker full control of printer functions. So as devices get smarter and more connected, we're going to see a lot more attacks targeted at them. And McAfee is really focused on addressing IoT-specific security challenges across multiple layers. OEMs can rely on McAfee to deliver interoperable security solutions that establish appropriate and effective protection at every single layer. You can advance to the next slide. When we talk about protection, it's protection from device to the server to the cloud. So when you start thinking of the security ecosystem in all, you really need to design a solution that spans from securing the device, network communication security, and data security. McAfee has a broad portfolio of security solutions, which we've brought to market for data centers and PCs, and we're going to bring the same set of technologies for intelligent devices, including the network, authentication technologies, data technologies, and protecting the device itself. So our partnership with Advantech, it really makes sense as we integrate all these security benefits into SUSE Access, which runs on embedded systems and devices. SUSE Access with the McAfee security solution in place will really serve to protect embedded devices across all vertical markets. Our solutions together not only provide a high level of security for customers and users, but also resolve high support costs related to security problems and also meet compliance requirements. Back to you, Deborah.
Thanks, Teresa. To meet customers' needs in IoT, Advantech provides full product offerings of wireless sensor network, embedded IoT gateway platforms, and software. Ken, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I agree with Valerie, Teresa, and Tom. The presence of IoT requires all business to reconsider their challenge, especially when connectivity, manageability, and security among devices are the keys to success. With 30 years of experience in embedded design, Advantech has aligned with Intel to provide the bottom line processor technology, Wind River for its IDP 2.0 software stack to accelerate IoT development timeline, and McAfee to ensure seamless security for all connected devices. All these IoT-focused technologies have been implemented on Advantech embedded platforms to help customers reduce the development cost and time. In this slide, you can see Advantech has full range of IoT product lines, from wireless sensor network, embedded IoT gateway, intelligent systems, to IoT software, which cover what's required to build intelligent IoT devices. First, it's a wireless sensor network, WSMO, that gathers sensory information and communicates with LAN through a gateway, which enables data to be stored and processed by intelligent systems. And as WSN are meant to be deployed in large numbers in remote and distinct environments, they need to be well managed by IoT software, covering security, recovery, and most critical of remote control, all done in real time. Before we move on, let's do a quick survey again. Select which of the following Advantech solutions interests you. Please select all that apply. A, intelligent systems. B, IoT gateway edge computing. C, wireless sensor modules. On this next slide, I'll go over Advantech software solution for IoT. On the API level, I want to highlight SUSE Access remote device management software preloaded in all IoT products for active control, remote monitoring like watchdog hammer, voltage, temperature, and LCD brightness, etc. Also embedded security powered by McAfee and system recovery powered by Advantech. So why is SUSE Access a must-have? It actually allows cross-device control from one unified user interface so as to streamline integration and configuration efforts. It is not only a turnkey solution, but also customizable for any application-specific development projects. So if your company plans to deploy IoT, you should consider this ready-to-use solutions, both hardware and software. And in particular, I would like to introduce UTX3115 system, the ideal IoT gateway and edge device for IoT application in markets such as factory automation, smart buildings, telemedical, environment monitoring, and green energy. The UTX3115 is a powerful miniature industrial-grade system with a size of 4.6 by 5.6 inch and a height of only 1.4 inch. It has a 2.5 inch storage capability and rich expansion I/O features for a variety of IoT connections. It has one RS-485 port, which can be connected to sensor or control devices for data aggregation, and dual gigabit LAN ports, one USB 3.0 and two USB 2.0 ports. In addition, it also has a one half-size mini PCIe and one full-size mini PCIe to support Wi-Fi and 3G, 4G proprietary WWAN network. And the full-size mini PCIe also supports MSOLA. This amazing system is equipped with a lock-type HDMI and screw-type DC input connectors to stabilize the plug-in and plug-out usage reliability and to help customers minimize the service downtime. And thanks to Wind River IDP software, UTX3115 is able to acquire the data from the edge device, analyze and aggregate the data, and secure the data before sending to the cloud. And the cloud will be able to turn this data into actionable information and push back to the edge, allowing devices and people to make decisions. Back to you, Deborah.
Ken, can you give us more example on how customers can identify IoT business opportunities?
Sure. One of the application concepts is for greenhouse monitoring system using Advantech IoT intelligent gateway device, UTX3115, and Advantech wireless sensor node to monitor greenhouse temperature, humidity, and carbon dioxide. We know that the greenhouse environment is very different from that of a backyard garden. In a greenhouse, the ability to control temperature, humidity, soil moisture, drainage, fertility levels, and light are crucial to the growth of the plants. However, in a well-designed greenhouse, outside conditions can become extremely cold or cloudy. That auxiliary heat is needed to keep plants growing at an optimal rate. For instance, summer crops grow best at temperature between 75 to 85 Fahrenheit in the daytime and 60 to 75 Fahrenheit at night. On cloudy days, this temperature range can drop significantly since the plant is not manufacturing as many sugar as usual. With the smart greenhouse IoT monitoring system, the Advantech sensor node can collect data for temperature, humidity, and CO2 from the greenhouse embedded edge sensor through RS-232 or 422 or 485, or from proprietary wireless such as IEEE 802.11.1 and IEEE 802.15.4. So once this raw data are collected and communicated to the first layer of the Advantech sensor node, it becomes big data. IoT Gateway UTS-3115 will be able to acquire the data from the sensor node through multiple communication ports, then analyzing, aggregating, and securing the data before sending to the cloud. Next, the cloud will be able to turn this data into actionable information and push it back to IoT Gateway UT3115 device. The UTS3115 will then use these actionable figures to adjust the level of light in the greenhouse and turn on or turn off the ventilation fan to adjust the greenhouse temperature to an optimal level for the plants. And also because UTS-3115 can operate under extended temperature from -20 to 60 degrees Celsius and optionally install 3G communication module. The next slide is another application concept, is the cold chain logistic monitoring system. Delivering pharmaceuticals or fresh food and beverage to consumer or public business by using the refrigeration truck. Logistic companies can transport goods everywhere. However, it's a challenge to ensure that goods are stored in optimal condition during transportation and are being delivered punctually. The trucking company need to be able to ensure and even prove that its cargo was kept within a certain temperature range during transit. A damaged refrigeration unit, an open door, or a mechanical problem with the vehicle can prove to be catastrophic for a refrigerated shipment. So therefore, the logistic companies need to build an effective system to help them closely monitor the storage temperature during transit. The Advantech IoT Gateway device UTS-3115 and wireless sensors can help transportation manager remotely access a variety of system and sensor data on a refrigerated truck, such as cargo temperature, door and hitch sensor, vehicle diagnostics, and real-time locations. The Advantech UTS-3115 and wireless sensor can assist transportation companies successfully remote monitor multiple data points on a single truck in real time and can extend that monitoring ability out to an entire fleet of vehicles. The next slide is another application concept for building energy management. IoT Gateway UTS-3115 will be able to acquire the data from sensor or actuator devices and then subsequently analyze, aggregate, and secure the data before sending to the cloud. Next, the cloud will be able to turn this data into actionable information and push it back to IoT Gateway UTS-3115 device. The UTS-3115 will then use this actionable information to control and monitor the sensor or actuator devices inside the building. Okay, back to you, Deborah.
Thanks, Ken. Talking about UTX, this is a new form factor co-developed by Intel and Advantech. Valerie, can you tell us more about Intel's partnership with Advantech?
I'd be happy to, Deborah. As you know, Advantech has a long history of bringing embedded solutions to market and understanding and addressing their customers' needs around the world. Combine that with Intel's expertise in manageability, connectivity, and security, and together we've developed industry-shaping solutions that provide the manageability, connectivity, security, and time-to-market solutions that our customers need. Intel and Advantech are both committed to successful deployments of complete IoT solutions, and with the UTX-3115 and Intel Gateway solution for the Internet of Things, we believe we've done just that.
Thanks, Valerie. Tom and Teresa, what are your viewpoints?
Well, WinRiver IDP starts with the market-leading WinRiver 5 product and optimizes it specifically for use in industrial gateway applications for IoT. WinRiver IDP then combines the security features of McAfee along with management and connectivity capabilities needed by IoT systems. This software stack has been optimized specifically for Intel Atom E3800 Celeron processor and has been pre-integrated with Advantech UTX 3115 system to provide an out-of-the-box IoT platform for industrial gateway solutions. It's this pre-integration of commercial-grade hardware and software that is new to the gateway space and will be of great benefit to the Advantech UTX 3115 customers. So, Teresa, what do you think about this?
Yep. Well, with the integration of our embedded security with Advantech SUSE Access, the system protection features are actually even more robust as it leverages McAfee's whitelisting technology. A lot of folks are familiar with antivirus solutions which use blacklisting, and although it keeps systems safe from external threats, this type of technology actually requires continual updates with virus databases that grow just large over time. So using the whitelist approach for Advantech, only programs that are authorized by the embedded security will run. This approach is a lot more efficient, it's more effective than traditional security solutions, and the operating environment is a lot more secure and changes less often. So in summary, enabling this function will allow customers to protect embedded systems that have SUSE access installed on them from unauthorized program execution. And it's a perfect fit as it's suited across many of Advantech's vertical markets, as they range from protecting POS terminals to kiosks to ATM machines and a range of industrial and medical devices.
Thank you, Tom and Teresa. Now, I have received several questions from our audience, but due to time limitation, I will have the speakers answer 3 questions. The first question is for WinRiver. What do you see as the main benefits of WinRiver IDT XT? Tom?
Okay. So IDP XT gives system developers a running start in their product launch schedule by providing a solid base that has been tested and optimized for the Advantech UTX 3115. The system gives developers that head start in getting their solution out to market with market-leading technology from all 4 companies, Advantech, Intel, WinRiver, and McAfee.
Thanks, Tom. The second question is for McAfee. What is McAfee's overall approach to embedded security? Teresa?
Sure, Deborah. So McAfee's approach to embedded security is to design the security solution that's really most appropriate to the environment. So if you look at the embedded device security, there are certain characteristics that you need to keep in mind. One of them is infrequent changes on these devices, and so this means devices don't update the software or firmware that frequently. Second is that these devices change in a very controlled manner, and when the change actually happens, it happens in a very structured manner. It's not like someone's going and downloading new software from the internet. The third very important thing is that these devices are all low on footprint. So you need to design security which doesn't impact the performance. So keeping all of this in mind, whitelisting, it's a perfect fit for embedded devices. What I mean by that is a user needs to have a solution which protects against zero-day and targeted attacks, but also doesn't impact performance. If you look at all these aspects, whitelisting discovers all the software on these devices, is able to prevent anything else from running on these devices without any need for signature updates, and hence you can really add this to both connected and disconnected devices and provide security for these solutions. So as a result, our approach really provides not only a high level of security for customers and users, but we maximize operational impact through accountability and device longevity, and we resolve high support costs relating to security problems, but also ensure that these devices are compliance ready.
Thanks, Teresa. The last question goes to Advantech. Does UTX 3115 have PTCRB certification? Ken?
Yes, Advantech UTS-3115 will be PTCRB certified. Advantech, in collaboration with our partner Intel, took the proactive step to acquire PTCRB certification. With UTS-3115 PTCRB certified means our machine-to-machine or IoT application developers can streamline their network carrier approval process and their own PTCRB certification for their application before it is launched. The PTCRB certification is an important milestone for Advantech UTS-3115 system, which demonstrates that GSM, WCDMA devices are complying with defined technical specifications in North America, meeting mobile network operator requirements for safe operation. So with the PTCRB certification and wireless communication module capability, UTS-3115 will not only give our customers the assurance, but also the additional broadband connectivity, flexibility, which customers need to facilitate the quick time to market of their own solutions.
Thanks, Ken. And this concludes today's webinar. I want to thank all the presenters for sharing their insights on IoT. I would also like to thank our audience for joining us today. This webinar recording will be available on Advantech YouTube channel by the end of April, and you may look up with keywords. If you'd like to get more information, please visit www.advantech.com. Thank you.